Welcome to the Trying to Be Better podcast with Joel and Steve.
There we go. I'm just see, we're not losing any more content. It's all going on record. You lucky listeners.
Are you? There we go.
Are we? Is it happening?
What happens now? It is happening now.
Well, this is where you say the introduction piece.
This is where I say, "Welcome to the Trying to Be Better podcast with Joel and Steve." My name is Joel,
And I'm Steve.
And happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Maybe you'll bag this episode until you're driving to your creepy uncle and aunt's house that still has carpeting on the walls in their basement to eat turkey out of a roaster. Or maybe you'll listen to this while you do your gratitude journal or while you cry silently in the shower.
That's what I was thinking.
Gently.
Right.
Just a gentle sob in the hot water of your own tears. Happy Thanksgiving.
Are you a cranberry sauce guy?
No. Nope.
Not out of the can, not a fancy one, not.
I like, okay. This is a good topic. I do like a fancy
it's a
cranberry.
safe topic, relatively.
Yeah, relatively. I mean, we could get more hate mail about anti-canned cranberry mold.
Well, given that we've received approximately 3 emails in the last year, I think
we're all right.
I think we're okay. Send the hate mail, please.
Yeah. Oh God, please.
To TTBB podcast at gmail.com. You can also flame us on Instagram at trying to be better podcast.
Put a pin in the Instagram. Also, yeah. So I don't like it. I don't want to eat anything that, when served, is still in the form of the container that it came in. You know,
that's part of the fun.
But
you just slice it off.
I know it doesn't. I don't think it tastes good.
Well, it doesn't. That's not the point.
Then what is the point?
It's tradition.
It's like
once a year you glorp the thing out of the can. Glorp.
Once a year you force feed yourself your own sad, formless memories from your childhood.
Something like that. I think that's the purpose.
I did tell my students the other day, because I do every time I take roll, because I'm one of those teachers that has a ritual of taking roll call at the top of every class. And I always ask like a question, like, what's your favorite cartoon, or what's your, what'd you cry about? No, I don't go there. But I did ask what everybody's favorite Thanksgiving food was. And I think across the board, it was like green bean casserole and mashed potatoes and gravy. And that reminded me that I need to cop to the fact that I am planning and did in the last couple of years, even as a vegetarian, I have to have gravy.
Yes.
Where I'm going, it is not there. Maybe I'll do that. I have the whole week off. Maybe I'll find a way to make some vegetarian gravy for myself. But I can't have the stovetop stuffing and the mashed potato. I can't have it without gravy. I
just get some out of the jar.
That's true.
Yeah.
No
problem. Tastes fine. A lot of salt, but tastes good.
Well, that's what makes it taste good.
That's what I'm saying.
When I hear my heart.
I mean, you could spend a few days making gravy, or you could just go to the store and buy a jar of gravy.
And drink it. What if I drank it before I even left?
Whatever, get a straw. You have to warm it up a little bit. It's kind of congealed, but.
What about a gravy smoothie? Yeah, but I timed that so perfectly. Steve almost spit his coffee all over the screen. That could be my second source of revenue.
Like gravy smoothies?
Gravy smoothies with
dude, if you hit the state and county fair circuit, it would sell.
Yeah, and I could have like vegan drumsticks you could dip in. It's like mashed potatoes, gravy.
Okay, now you're gonna have to go to the jam band festival circuit for that.
I would love that. I would love for a sustainable source of income where I could just follow jam bands around.
Vegan drumsticks, dude.
That's actually not a bad idea.
It's
I
actually
could
not. You
probably,
heard it here first. That's trademark.
yes.
Trying to be better podcasts.
See if I can get my shit together in time for Goosemas.
I talked to an old friend, Sim Spencer. I went to military school with Spencer, and we had all kinds of shenanigans 30 years ago. Well, we've sort of kind of stayed in touch, but had lost track of each other. And he popped back up on the socials, so hit him up. He's living in Oakland now, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
California, and he's fully and fish. Spencer's a long time fish guy since the early '90s, basically,
Right.
and he's 100% convinced about goose. So
Good man.
yeah, he is a good man. Actually, he's a good guy. Shout
I
out to
will.
Spencer.
I love Goose. I've been listening to a lot of Goose. I listened their what's their little side their little acoustic Goose side project. What's it called?
I don't know.
Oraborolo, Orolabolo. Dang it.
That's just one
Oro-
more unpronounceable name that I don't need in my life.
Orabolo. I don't know
Okay.
if I'm saying that correctly, but basically it's the keyboardist, the lead guy, and the one of the percussionists from Goose. They do a little they do a little
Say the lead guy's last name.
Rick
Uh-huh.
Mitaratonda.
Yeah, you're a super fan here.
Rick. It's
It's
Rick.
Rick. It's Rick, yeah.
Yeah. It's like Trey, Anastasio. Trey.
It's Trey. Right. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rick. But they have a little acoustic trio that's pretty great too. So but some of their stuff, like I will admit, I think that you made the joke recently that they're like what did you say? They're like God, they're like the butt rock of jam bands. Like they're the well, not
I don't think I
seven.
said that. I don't think I
Somebody,
said that.
no, somebody said that. Somebody said that like in the chat thread that they're like the
No.
Nickelback.
Oh, the Nickelback of jam band.
But I would even argue there's some moments where they're kind of it's very select and it's not a sweeping statement. So if Rick, if you're listening, buddy, I'm sorry, but there are select moments in there little like when they slow it down and the little spacey jams and Rick and his soaring beautiful vocals rise above everything. It kind of sounds like a mega church service song, like
Oh man.
it sounds like my emotions are being manipulated right now and I like it, like it doesn't it's so clean and so emotionally lifting. I'm like, I put my hands in the air.
Excuse
I
me. I have to go listen to the Clash now.
put my hand on my heart and I worship. I worship the goose. The almighty goose has entered. You know, Goose. I asked Goose into my heart. To be my personal Lord and Savior,
Uh-huh.
and Goose has never let me down. Like the goose. Sometimes you got to worship at the foot of the goose. The mercy,
The
the,
mercy of the goose.
the mercy of the goose.
Well, Joel, I'm glad that you found a system of belief that works for you, such as it is.
Do you have a minute for me to? Do you have a minute to talk about my Lord and Savior Rick from Goose?
No,
No, I don't.
I don't actually. Uh-uh. I would probably go see him though. I'd go see him.
Oh, yeah. I want to see him again. I want to see him a lot more.
Hmm. I can't get over the mustache.
He shaved it.
The keyboard player?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
He shaved it for Halloween.
Oh,
I don't know if it's coming back, but
hmm. Well, okay.
the problem with the Goose is they really are a like a gateway drug for a lot of the like new jam bands. Perpetual Groove, fucking, they're great. Eggy, have you listened
I
to
have
Eggy?
not listened to Eggy, but I hear good things about them. I
I,
read good things about them. Eggy and
yeah,
Dogs in a Pile, those guys seem to be kind of on the same trajectory, and I really like Dogs in a Pile. So
Dogs in a Pile fucks.
yeah, they're great. Hmm.
Eggy fucks too.
Dude, Andy Frasco tour with Chris Lager coming up in March.
Whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Hold the what?
Chris Lager's opening up for Andy Frasco for like 5 or 6 states, starting in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and moving north through Kansas City and Omaha and Minneapolis.
Dude, that's fucking amazing.
I know.
Good
That's
for
gonna
all.
that's gonna be the best time. And you know what the tour's called?
Oh no, what?
It's called Trying Not to Die. How good of a time is that gonna be?
Dude, that's so good. That's good for Andy Frasco and the UN. And it's also really cool for Chris.
Lager, yeah. Yeah, they're gonna have the best time.
We need to get fucking a Ferocious Jungle Cat on some sort of tour like that. They need to open for, I mean, Goose doesn't do openers, but they need to do.
Are Jungle Cat even playing anymore? I mean,
yeah, but like rare. I mean, I am anticipating some sort of holiday show when they all have, time and
right. I feel like they're not touring. That was kind of the impression when we interviewed his name's escaping me now.
Yes. Escaping me too.
It's embarrassing. Whatever. We love Ferocious Jungle Cat. But I got the impression that that's not their trajectory to go hit the road and try to play the circuit and all that.
No.
But it's kind of a bummer because they're really good.
I was listening to them the other day and I was like, man, the world needs these guys, I think, in some way. They need some
Ferocious Jungle Cat.
Some white boy thunder funk. You know what I mean?
I love that. I love the white boy thunder funk.
I love it too.
Yeah, it's great.
I that is exciting. The Chris Lager.
Well, I feel like that's something, I'll take a couple of days off of work and go hit that.
Yeah, that's happening in March.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Maven is showing me her flamingo. It's time to play, and she likes to wait until I'm doing this podcast to try to.
Well, of course, because you're paying attention to something besides her.
Steve was my dog first, Maven.
That's right. My new game is I have the cats, and the doors in my new place have like a little gap where they can slide their paws underneath.
Oh, yeah.
So when I'm in the bathroom or in my bedroom, I'll hear this scritch, 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 and see a little cat paw coming up underneath so I'll go up and hit it with my toe.
Mm-hmm.
That's our game now. It's fun. This is my life now. playing footsie with the cats under the door. It's pretty great, actually.
It could be a lot worse.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I could not have a door to have cats to put their paw under.
You could be playing footsie underneath a jail cell with Spike.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
I do. Yeah, no, I'm acutely aware of all of my blessings. Yes, on this most thankful of weeks.
What are your surprise what's your dark gratitude list? What's the gratitude list that you're not, like, you could say, I'm grateful for my sobriety, and I'm grateful for my colon works, and I'm grateful that I didn't drink today. I mean, yeah.
Got it. What my dark gratitude list? Wow.
It's not dark. It's not necessarily dark, maybe, but like like the surprise, the thing you wouldn't the thing you wouldn't say in a meeting, like, just grateful to be here, grateful to be sober, like that. We know that. What do you?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I would probably say this in a meeting. Like I've said this a couple times in the last week. In fact, I think you heard me say it, but there was an old boy, I think his name was Mickey, that used to say, any lily-livered son of a bitch can be full of gratitude when things are going his way.
Mm.
And like, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. It's like what I'm grateful for, if we're actually talking, is some faith, not necessarily in God, but I have been, like, I know that and I'm gonna throw up in my mouth here a little bit when I say this, but like when one door closes, another opens.
Oh,
right. No, I mean, like, seriously, I every time in my life when things have looked bleak, like, oh my God. I look back a few months later and it's like, well, that turned out really great.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, like literally, I can think of a half a dozen times in the last whatever 30 years where like, oh my God, this is horrible, you know?
Hmm.
And then I look back 3 to 6 to 9 months later. I'm like, yeah, that was really terrible, but look at how good this is.
So do you think that like you mentioned the word faith or trust or whatever, like, do you think that the more you go through that and it's not horrible and you're able to find gratitude, the quicker you get to that faith that
Well,
it's
we'll
going to be
find
all
out.
right?
We'll find out.
Yeah. Well, keep us posted, please.
Yeah, right. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah.
like I mean, I'm experiencing some adversity right now, but it's also like okay,
Yeah.
fine.
So what now what?
Pretty much, yeah. And
Yeah.
my job is to act as if my job is to continue to try to be of service to God and God's kids
Hmm.
and to take care of myself
Hmm.
and to do the things that I have control over. To
Yep.
take care of those things, right? And the
Yep.
things that I don't have control over, well, okay.
Well, it's like that part of the secret meeting book manual. We have a new employer.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like
Right.
our employer is these higher principles, this higher power, whatever it is.
100%. And like I'm glad you mentioned that because that's been on the tip of my brain, but I'd kind of forgotten about that specific line.
Yeah.
It's like I have a new employer and
Yep.
have for a long time.
Yep.
And that employer isn't gonna let me down,
Right.
right? Know what I'm saying?
It's a different big boss, man.
Pretty much. It's one that loves me unconditionally,
Yeah, man.
right?
Sure.
So,
Yeah. I
and
have
that's
that
pretty
in
rad.
I have that in Goose. I get it. Like, like you know what I mean? Like
It's back to Goose.
when I when I sit and I just walk hand in hand and then I look back
With
at
Rick.
yeah, with Rick and I turned to Rick after, some walking through the lot and I realized that there were times where there was two sets of footprints moving the trash aside and then there were times where there's one set of footprints and I turned to Rick and I said, "Rick, why did you leave me during the scariest part of the lot?" And he
Through the
said,
nitrous alley.
"Yeah." And he said with his auto-tuned voice, um, "That's when I was carrying you, Joel."
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean?
That's beautiful.
I'm sorry to shit on your beautiful shit.
God damn it, Joel. I was thinking, but that's where Gar- Garcia had been like, sorry, what?
Yeah, that I did some Jerry Garcia band shows. I left you there. Yes, I
I,
absolutely
I
left you.
absolutely 100% left you
Hey,
to
and you
figure
survived.
to figure it out, man.
Yeah, I have to
Figure it
figure it
out.
out.
Yeah,
I'm
it's like
figuring it out.
you
I'm not
figure
here
it
to.
out. Like
You
that's
figure it
see,
out.
that's the difference between Garcia and Rick. Is Rick will try to save you, and Garcia is like, figure it out, man.
There's no saving. No one's
There's
saving it. No one's saving
nobody.
anyone.
Sure as shit, I'm not gonna save you. Have you seen me?
Have you
If
met
I
me?
knew the way, I'd take you home. But alas, good luck,
Mm,
kid.
hmm.
Why the fuck are you still what? Dude, get a life. Mm-hmm.
I had a weird little nugget of gratitude that was a surprise this week
Oh
on a
yeah.
couple of levels. One I'll share about. The so part of my gig, so colleges that are participate in this whole thing, there's like there's a region of colleges. There's a region in a national festival put on by the Kennedy Center in DC. And
Yeah.
there's our
Mhm.
region. There's a festival there's like a conference every year, and different faculty members from different theater departments can go see other people's shows and respond to their shows. It's not like critique or that you need to, it's not a review. It's like, hey, let's just respond. I'm another practitioner in this world to respond to the work that you're doing, right? And I started doing, like, I could have been giving responses for years but I just didn't because I didn't really want to make the time. But I got a really kind of my students, I should say, it wasn't about me. My students got a really unhelpful review from a play that I was very enthusiastic about, and they were too, and it just kind of left a bad taste in our mouths. And so I
Yeah.
said, I'm going to start responding to shows because I want to give the sort of reviews that I didn't get or responses that I didn't get, right? So
Right.
long story short, I was asked to go give a response to a show at UNL, my alma mater, my undergraduate degree. And I saw the show, and it's going to be too late for anybody to see it, but it was at UNL. It's called POTUS, or
Yeah,
House.
I wanted to go see that, but it's there are no tickets available.
Yeah, it's a hot ticket. I forget. There's like a subtitle to it. It's like POTUS or House
Set
seven
behind every great man is seven women trying to keep his dumb ass.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it was just this really lovely moment where one of the faculty members is still there from when I was there. His name is Brad Buffum. He's an equity stage manager, production manager, and he still kind of runs that. And he had to be on site because there were a couple of equity actors in the show. So I got to chum it up with him as sort of a colleague, and I got to see the show, and I got to respond. And there was a part of me that was like, I really need to do this well because I need to prove to my, my undergraduate degree that I am who I am. And then I let it all go. And once I was giving the response, it was just such a lovely full circle moment where I was the person that I, as a student, really looked for not, I guess, validation, but just like a celebration of the thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I
Mhm.
got to give that, and it was such this real cool full circle moment.
I bet that was great
It was really cool, and it
because
kind
I
of
mean I remember you as an undergrad.
and I would sit.
Sweaty Joel, sweaty, skinny, angry Joel.
It was really sweaty.
You were really sweaty. You
I would
sweated a
sweat.
you sweated
I
a lot.
It didn't matter what time of year, what the
Nope.
temperature. I mean, I
You were
would.
just it was just because you were running so hot.
I must have been.
Sweat. Your body's just trying to cool down, cool
Yeah,
this
dude.
situation down.
Just perpetual like uh pit stains. Like,
On your white t-shirt.
yeah, and I would wear white t-shirts and it would just get gross. And that's when I stopped wearing white t-shirts and just wore black
Ah,
t-shirts because
they last longer.
yeah. But I would just pour fucking like aluminum antiperspirant on my armpits. And
Do
it
you
just
still use that or no? Have you gotten away
I
from
do
the
not.
aluminum?
I do not use that anymore.
Hmm. What do you
And it's
use?
better. I use just natural deodorants.
Yeah, like
So
give me a brand so that because
I my go-to is Arm& and Hammer makes a natural like deodorant, natural stuff with no parabens. I don't even know what that is. No aluminum. It's just a deodorant. But it actually, so what started me on that trip was past guest Sadie Thompson. Actually,
oh yeah.
she
She
used she used to
make that.
make she used to make a shea butter deodorant, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
And
bought some of that a couple
and
times.
I needed to like get away from, and it like totally recalibrated my pH levels, and I do not sweat near as much as I used to. I still sweat, but
Hmm.
not dripping sweat in 30 below temperatures. Just
So
I was
anyway, we
anyway.
digress a little bit. Uh so you got to come around and be the guy that Sweaty Joel would have been really excited to hear from.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
mean, I yeah. It just kind of was like it was one of those universal winks,
Hmm.
pats on the back, like,
Well,
hey man,
you needed one of those.
yeah, I've needed one
Hmm.
of those. I absolutely have needed one of those.
Hmm. Well, I'm happy that that happened for you because I know that it's been kind of your work life has been unsatisfactory.
My work life is unsatisfactory. But it's not that
Oh,
and that's a story between my ears, right? But
yeah, yeah.
the reality is I can get bogged down because like I can go to a large state school like that or big department and say, wow, I am an acting teacher and a director. And in large departments, uh my role, I could stay in a lane, right? I could have this one
Yes.
lane. I teach acting and I direct sometimes, and this is what I do, and I don't do anything else. And I needed a little wink from the universe that the many hats that I have to wear, some of which don't fit at all,
Right.
lead me to give a holistic response to
Mm-hmm.
that thing that isn't just focused on my lane.
Right,
Like I
because you're not coming at it from as strictly like I teach this thing.
Yeah, I was able to give a really valid response about the set design, the lighting design, the
Mm-hmm.
props, the stage management. It's like it was kind of a nice like, hey, you are a trained professional in a lot of areas, and
Mm-hmm.
you are absolutely qualified to talk about all of these other things too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
Yeah.
I would, if I didn't have that experience professionally, I would come at that response with this feeling of inadequacy in those areas. Like, ooh, I don't
Right.
know how to say this. But I was like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. I appreciate like I get that as a person that has worn many hats recently.
right.
Mm-hmm. And it
I'm a
is kind of a jack of all trades, master of one or
exactly.
two.
I was just going to say that I'm a master of one,
Yeah.
literally have a degree, a master of one, but I'm a jack of a lot of different trades.
Yeah. And that like that counts, especially for young artists that are jacks of nothing
Right.
and just have stars in their eyes and want to.
And it was cool because the equity actors in the show that they hired, because the UNL does a semi-professional slash academic theater season,
Hmm.
so they hire equity actors in some specific roles, and they stuck around, which I thought was really gracious for the response. I mean,
Mm.
there's a version of me as a professional actor.
I'm out.
I'm out. Bye. I'm going to go to my hotel. See you.
Yeah.
Have fun with whatever that is. But they
Hmm.
were very supportive, and they were really engaged with my response. It was like, yeah, like if you ever feel like you have some imposter syndrome, uh, do some stuff that you are engage in some critique of the things that you know about, and I was able to validate myself in a
Hmm.
way, and I didn't need it from anybody else, which was really lovely and right on time, to be honest.
Hmm. No, that's legit.
Yeah.
It's nice to feel confident and secure in your whatever qualifications.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like, no, actually, I am this.
Yeah.
Not
That's
like somehow I bumbled into it. And no,
and
and
like,
as soon as they find out,
yeah, that sort of coming from this place of lack
right?
causes people to be very weird. And I've
Mhm.
definitely been there myself. And
Same.
there wasn't that feeling of I needed to overcompensate, you know,
Right.
you know,
Right.
which
Yeah.
was really
You could just
lovely.
give honest feedback.
Hmm. Yeah, it was lovely. It
Hmm.
really was.
Hmm.
Um, you go. What else? What else you got?
Well, yesterday I went to a grief slash gratitude workshop with
Yeah.
Sarah Lewis Raspy
Hmm.
at and I'm now totally blanking on the name of the yoga studio, but I'll figure it out. And it was really cool. It was 2 hours and I was the only guy in it.
Hmm.
But I just thought, I had signed up for it a couple weeks ago, and I just thought, that's couldn't might not be the worst thing for me to do running into the Bermuda Triangle of holidays coming up. You know,
Yeah.
it was ritual yoga and wellness. It's out at 40th and Old Cheney by that
Oh,
Hy-Vee there
cool.
in that
Yeah.
office
Yeah.
situation. Kind of a cool space. And
Hmm.
Sarah's great. I don't know her well, but I've known her for, on and off for a long time
Hmm.
through the yoga community and haven't seen her in years, but she's fantastic. Sarah's very cool. Hell, we should get her on
That's a
here.
good idea. Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
She's working on her PhD. And
Oh, wow.
I think this may have been part of that.
Hmm.
But it was basically going over the oh gosh, the Buddhist term just went out of my head. The Brahma V
Brahma Viharas.
yeah. the faces of love is how it was like translated
Oh,
into. And it was
mhm,
going, I mean, it was literally just a run through, and we did some breathing and a little very light yoga, some cat cows, that kind of thing, just to
mhm.
get relaxed. And then going over the Brahma Viharas, loving kindness, compassion, equanimity, and the fourth one, which I just forgot. Um,
Equanimity,
Loving kindness, compassion,
passion,
joy.
joy, appreciative joy.
Yep. And
Mhm,
then equanimity. And
mhm.
so, it's basic Buddhism for white people, but it was really great, and there was a dozen people there probably, and
Mhm.
like there was a mother and daughter there, and who's like they're looking at losing their husband slash or father slash grandfather, and
Mhm.
just a lot, and I mean just the gamut of relationships ending to lives ending, and
Yeah,
people just trying to find a way to work through that, to work through
yeah,
grief, and to find some gratitude as we slide into the most stressful season of the year. and
yeah.
um and it was really like people were Sarah's a great facilitator.
Mhm.
Like she really created a space that allowed people to be brave. And I saw a lot of that. It was really inspiring to be with a group of people that came, it's well, I mean, it's kind of like the secret meetings, but for people that don't need secret meetings,
Right.
where they came in with an intention. It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
just, go and get limber or get what, like it wasn't just a yoga thing. It was like, and I don't mean to downgrade yoga. Yoga is fantastic.
What are you
But
saying
like,
about yoga, Steve?
I fuck yoga sucks. It's like for spoiled white people. Why don't you
Fuck
fuck
yo, fuck yoga.
yoga? Right. It's right. It's about yoga is just about, Lululemon and infidelity. That's really that's really all it is. That's all it is.
It's like Ashley Madison for assholes. You know what I mean? Just like uppity assholes.
Right. That's all yoga is. Um,
It's just, it's Ashley Madison with lycra.
Pretty much, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. And some ecstasy. Um,
Oh my God.
and bad new age DJs.
I, back to the point. I really am. That's cool because, like,
Sorry.
the
My
idea.
apologies to the entire
I know that's what I was gonna
Nebraska
say.
yoga
We
community.
we've pissed a lot of people off maybe over the years, but I don't think you want to fuck with those people.
Yeah, because Lord
Trust me.
knows it's not all just, kumbaya.
No. There's a documentary about Kundalini yoga that I really want to watch, and those people are oof.
Okay. Well, first of all, the yoga community in Lincoln's fantastic. And
Sure.
I'm just being a smartass. But so anyway, Sarah's great. And back to the point, which is that while a lot of what we talked about is something that you and I have talked about for years, and that is kind of like if you're in recovery or have some sort of Buddhism based spiritual practice, like it's kind of like, oh yeah, well, I know what this is, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But it was interesting, to see people who maybe were getting introduced to those concepts for the first time,
Yeah.
like in that very specific way. Like, oh, I know what joy is. Like, yeah, but do you?
Have you
Like
investigated joy?
like
It's not
it
just
like
a feeling that it's not like the Bat Cave where it's like you show up at the Bat Cave and you don't know how you got there. Like joy is a thing you can cultivate versus
sure, and
something
it's also
sort of
not like the thing of like, oh, the Huskers won, so I'm feeling joy.
right,
Yeah, no, it's something that you cultivate and work on.
right.
Um, and it can be done internally. It doesn't have to rely on external circumstances.
Oh,
Right. Right.
I don't know about that.
But the thing that the it's it the and I remember we were on a bike ride a few years ago, and I asked you, what the hell is equanimity?
Mm-hmm.
Like, equanimity is a tricky concept. Like,
Yeah.
if you've never really heard it or tried to wrap your mind around it, that's like like equanimity is where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, what did you learn about equanimity from this yoga
Oh,
thing?
I didn't learn anything. I just mansplained it to the group.
You got the mic. You put the headset on. All
I
right,
did.
everybody, sit down.
Right. I got
Sarah,
this. I got
zip
this.
it. This is what equanimity is, guys. You know that thing of when you eat too much Chicago beef on a hot summer day, and you're sitting at you're sitting you're sitting in Soldier Field, and you really just want to explode your pants, but you got to stay there to be with the show. That's equanimity. Mic
I don't
drop.
I don't think that's equanimity.
I don't think it is
I
either.
don't think
You could find it there, I bet.
I bet you could. No, I mean, the one thing that I did chime in on was the idea that because it didn't say this in the thing that we're working out of is the idea that in fact I have it right here. The idea that all beings are responsible for their own happiness,
Yeah.
including myself.
Yeah.
All beings responsible for their own happiness. Like
Yep.
I can't mm, I can offer to be of service,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I
Mhm.
cannot make someone else experience peace and happiness like that. That's something that so here's what it said in the thing. It said equanimity is the state of balance, calmness, and non-reactivity towards changing conditions of life. It involves accepting all that happens to us, pleasure and pain, gain and loss, success and failure, with an even-minded attitude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's all true. But as I understand it, there's the additional thing of um like I can wish that for others, but I can't do anything about it. Like that's everyone's job is to cultivate that.
And that is the most like sharp sword that cuts through all of my thinking when it comes to my recent discovery and journey and people pleasing and codependency and enmeshment.
Ooh. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is
Mm-hmm.
that um
Yeah, it's real hard for codependents to get behind equanimity.
yes, because because even a spiritual path can seem like a siren song crashing into the rock, calling you to crash into the rocks. That if I do really good and get really spiritual, then somebody else will too, or somebody else will want me more, or somebody else will, this will rub off on them, or this will change how other people. And it's like,
Nope.
nope.
It may make you more attractive in a sense, but it doesn't
But
guarantee any
to a certain
outcomes.
person, but there's some people that and I've experienced this recently, that if I am if I am experiencing the fruits of equanimity and balance, people that are chaos makers, that is not attractive to them.
Oh, that's
That
100% correct. That's like
you
turning
know what I
on the
mean?
lights and the cockroaches scatter.
And I have experienced that very directly recently with somebody
Mm-hmm.
in my sphere where
Yeah, you have.
my my wellness or my work is mine and I love it and it's my journey.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also to someone who is a chaos vampire only is it is
There's a band name,
it, it it
Chaos
is
Vampire.
it's an attack.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's just like for people that are chaos vampires, just a healthy person setting boundaries is an attack.
Is an attack.
It's an attack. How dare you set a healthy boundary against me?
Well, the thing about boundaries is like, the people that get angry when you have them are the people that benefited from you not having them.
100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like Maven, she doesn't understand that I have boundaries. She's brought in 3 different toys right now.
That's perfect.
This is a toy
It's the
banana.
banana. Where's the busy bee?
Yeah. Oh, we are such that couple sometimes. But I was thinking about equanimity this morning. I sat with Mary Sandcabbage, and Sunday mornings she does her 30-minute meditations on Sundays are silent sits. And
Mm-hmm.
I sat for 30 minutes, bell rings, and then 30 minutes later the bell rings, and what you do with that in between is on you, right?
Right.
And I had just enough coffee for a lot of strange thoughts to come drink at the peaceful pool that is my mind, right? And that's the but you can actually physically embody equanimity on the cushion when you sit and breathe and stay with it and things come and go and you have not reacted to them. You have a real visceral somatic experience with what it means to be balanced. It doesn't mean thoughts don't come. What it means is did I get up on my cushion and stomp around and get back on my, no, I sat with all of it. You know what I mean? Like it all got to come and go and drink from the pond and leave. And the real magic is, coming back to the breath and saying, "Oh, I'm thinking. No, I'm going to come back." And if you can do that in meditation, then hopefully there's some result in the world when some coworker is being shitty or when somebody rear ends your car or whatever. So
yeah. Well, the car's already rear-ended.
the car's already the teacup is already broken. Yeah.
I thought about that yesterday during the thing. Like, yeah, you hang on. Well, like I have a favorite like ice water cup,
Yeah.
it's insulated and all that. It's got a straw and all that. And
Is it one of those hip Stanley cups?
it's a knockoff hip Stanley cup.
Oh.
But it's great. It works. And like it'll hold ice for hours. But I knocked it off my counter a few days ago and cracked the lid.
Yeah.
And I just thought, well, it was already cracked.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I was really attached. It really held that cup really held the room together.
Well, my brother, when I was my first foray into more investigative Buddhism, I bought a really nice impermanence mala to use in meditation, right? But mostly to just wear.
How long does it stick around?
Exactly. But I bought it because I was going to use it, and then I also bought it so that I could wear it on my wrist to show everybody that I had one.
Of course.
My ego was involved.
No.
And I showed my brother, and he's like, "Yeah, it's already broken." I was like, "Fuck you, man. Fuck you. That's not.
My thing's different."
Yeah, this is an impermanent.
You don't understand.
Impermanent small. It's going to last forever, and give me everything I want. Right.
So that my ego can shine for all to see.
Yes. But what I heard, what I always need to remember is Goose has already broken up.
That's right. Well, they already kind of did. They lost a drummer.
I really want the story on that, to be honest.
Goose has already broken up. The band is already on hiatus. The band is already experiencing artistic differences. The band is already suffering from exhaustion.
Too much ecstasy, cocaine, and whiskey.
Right. The band has already been attacked by its keyboard. Did you see that video with Andy Frasco?
Oh, yeah. And he was so fucked up.
That was so hilarious. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to try to describe this. And there's Andy Frasco like picked his keyboard up and like threw it on the stage in the middle of a set and like stomped on it. I mean, it was just really like, oh my God. And so then cut to see the next day, he's just standing on the boardwalk looking, a little forlorn, a little bedraggled. And his road guy or somebody comes up and says, "Man, what happened last night?" And he said, "I don't know, man. I took a bunch of mushrooms and the keyboard, it started getting after me. It was a lot of anxiety. I had to take it out."
Okay, we got to start with Chris Lager and get him on. That he would be a great interview no matter what. And then maybe
do you think we have enough? Do you think we have enough clout to get Chris on?
We could ask him. I mean, he knows us. I mean, I know him.
Oh, And you
I
know
mean,
Jeremiah.
I do know Jeremiah.
Jeremiah is just like this big ray of hairy blonde sunshine.
He always has been that way.
Amazing.
Like I remember him in Columbus, just like kind of always that guy. Like he's always been that guy.
Huh. How do you get to be that way?
I don't know.
I don't either. But like he's one of my role models as far as like, boy, I
I'm,
wish I'd like to be like that.
I mean, I'm sure he's maladaptive in some ways, but not in the real big egregious ones that force us to go to therapy and meetings.
He just seems he just seems pretty much full of joy and
He's the dude.
he's the dude
Yeah,
with maybe a better work ethic.
probably.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
he plays, you have to have a work ethic to do what he does. So,
yeah, yeah,
mhm. That would be
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Get Maya on. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Mhm.
And I'll reach out to Sarah.
Oh
See if
yeah,
she'd like
yeah.
to see if she'd like to talk about her adventure because she's had some stuff happen that um like that's part of the reason why she's doing this is because she's working through some of her own stuff. So and
Well,
kudos to her
that's. I
for
mean,
that.
a grief group, you might think like, well, I like yoga, but I don't have any big capital G grief to work through. It's like you can grieve. I grieve the weekend.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like on Sunday evening, I'm sad that I'm grieving the fact that the weekend's over. It's like there's capital G grief. You lose somebody close to you, you lose a job, you lose a limb, right? Whatever,
Or a
or
pet.
or a pet, yes.
Hmm.
And then there's maybe lowercase g grief where it's like just the day to day things
Hmm.
changing, the seasons, the fucking sun going down at
Yeah, at
5 o'clock.
4:30, yeah. My the one of the laughs we got yesterday is the mother and daughter pair as we were introducing ourselves. The daughter went first, and then the mother said something to the effect of she's like, I thought I was coming here to exercise. Like her daughter kind of hornswoggled her into
That's
it
hilarious.
was everybody bust out. It was great. And that lady, I mean, like she shared some real stuff. Like she
Yeah.
once she realized what was happening, like she was kind of the highlight of the show.
And how beautiful it is to match those sort of the Brahma Viharas and movement, right? Like
Hmm.
allowing your body to be a part of that conversation is so fucking important.
Well, and it is, and I've really gotten in tune with that the last few years. Like the body stores all of that,
Mhm.
and um, and that was something that Sarah kind of keyed in on is like just like the 5 stages of grief or whatever. I mean, that's a nice framework,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really cover all of it.
No. No. It
And
that's
then
like
somebody in the class brought up the point that those stages were actually um created around for the dying person, not for the people left.
oh,
So that really puts a whole other spin on it.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That actually makes way more
Because
sense.
that's, in at least in well, I can only speak about this country that I live in, but it's like you get 72 hours.
Mhm. Then we need you back at work or you're going to be replaced.
Yes, you have 72 hours to sort out whatever that is, but then we need you back here.
Yeah, the machine is going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So either get it together or we're going to let you go. You have 72 hours.
And in that 72 hours, you need to deal with all of it and deal with all of the practical things about the person. You got to do the funeral stuff. You got to make sure the body is taken care of. You got to get that out of your mind, and you got
Deal
to.
with the family.
Yep. And
Deal,
please don't wear the black and the shroud. We don't
no,
want. We don't.
we need your happy face on.
Yeah, we need
We
you.
need you to have the happy face.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. We model our department store after Disney World, and if this isn't the happiest place on earth, then we need to move on.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Yep. So,
That's a
so,
whole. I mean, that would be interesting to talk to her about that. I
mhm,
think that would be cool, and just
mhm.
anybody about. I mean, Past guest Armando McLean has kind of always talked about, putting together a performance project around grief. I don't know where he's at in that process, but that would be an interesting
Really?
thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He would be a guy to do that.
Yeah, he would.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Did you send
yeah.
him his stuff?
No, sure haven't.
Sam, I'll get you your stickers out this week.
I, I, it's gotten to a point where the joke is over and I'm just a shitty person. So I need to do something.
You heard it here first,
I
folks.
really am. I'm just going to call him. I'm just going to call him.
You should call Armando.
I should.
That's something I heard, and I have done this a little bit, but not to the fullest extent. But like, normalize calling people to tell them that you're thinking about them.
I've gotten so off the fucking road with that, man.
Like, I feel like now is a time where humans need to talk to other humans in person really badly.
Mm-hmm. That's real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I stepped away from all social media, so my social media has become our text thread, unfortunately. Like it's
been pretty lax lately.
I know. So I need to
Dave and his pictures of clouds. I don't know what we'd have.
I hope he paints them.
Oh, that'd be cool. Mm-hmm. Dave, paint the clouds. We love you. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we did it.
Yeah, I'm grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you too. I'm grateful for this little platform of ours.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for our dozens of for TTBB Nation.
The TTBB, the TTBBs.
Sure.
I am great. Yeah, this is cool. It's always a hoot, and it's one of those where like you asked before we started recording, like, what do we have to talk about? It's like, well, why would we pre-plan that? Just let it rip. I think
that's why we don't have very many guests, is because it requires planning.
Yeah.
And communication.
Right.
Jesus.
Yeah. And sometimes the guests are going to be like Branford Marsalis and blow the world away, and sometimes it's going to be Bruce Hornsby on his fucking accordion.
Hey, don't say bad things about Bruce Hornsby, who, by the way, just turned 70.
I have no problems with Bruce Hornsby, but I could do without the accordion.
I saw 2 Grateful Dead concerts in a row at RFK Stadium where he played accordion all night, both nights.
And
it was great.
Was it?
Yes, they were great. Good shows.
I
mean, yeah. Would I preferred the grand piano? Yes.
Yeah.
But Bruce is an incredibly tasteful player, and he knows where to lay out.
That's
true. What I'm saying?
He
wasn't like the Grateful Dead with Bruce featuring Bruce Hornsby on accordion.
It could have been if they had asked Weird Al to sit in on accordion.
I mean, but so what I'm saying is that, yeah, I mean, you think the accordion, but he's just a very tasteful player,
Yeah.
And he knew where to interject and when to shut the fuck up.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Don't hate the accordion, hate the person that decided that getting a piano at the last second was going to be a hassle.
The situation is
the boss.
The boss. So,
yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'll listen to those RFK shows again.
They're great. 625 and 626.93.
Okay.
And what's as a note, those were the last shows of summer tour, and they were the last shows before Bobby had his vocal cords operated on to get rid of polyps, and his voice is shot, fucked, gone, and he gives it hell, and it's amazing.
You should tag one of those songs at the end of this episode.
Oh, I can do that. Yeah. Yeah, I will do that actually, because great shows. Now that I just got all tingly.
Yeah, you did. That's when Steve turns on, man. It's great.
So one last anecdote from those. At the end of the first set, the first night, they were playing Promised Land, and it was just bonkers. And I was in like what do you call the hallways that lead from like the concourse to the seats? You know what I'm saying? Where it's like a passageway.
Sure.
And I was just going full ham. This is at the end of the song, everything's just nuts. And I spin around, and there's a guy that I had gone to community college with 2 years earlier. That I'd been out in California, and like we hadn't seen each other, but we both spin around and looked at each other. And I was like, dude, big high five. Right. And then just kept dancing.
Oh wow.
It was a
That's
perfect
cool.
Grateful Dead moment. You know what I'm saying?
I
It was
do.
awesome.
Mhm,
It was great.
mhm,
So
mhm.
anyway, yeah. Good
Beautiful.
times. Yeah. I mean, it's no goose, but it's pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, but it's like, yeah, when you're sitting at the foot of the divine
Yeah.
versus just going to a rock and roll concert. I mean, those
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
things are different, you know?
Very
And like
different thing.
when you're in the same room with Rick, blah, 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 then you know what I mean? Like, what are you
There's
gonna?
true love right there, folks. Joel has seen the 44 ounces to freedom, baby.
Yeah, I'm speaking in tongues, really.
There it is. Rick mitochondria.
I need to get AI to make a very Jesus-y, like
Rick.
airbrushed painting of Rick mitochondria with like part of his face like disintegrating into cell structure.
You can do that.
Got my work cut out for me.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go walk my dog, man.
All right. Have fun.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
My home in Norfolk, Virginia, California, on my mind. Straddle like Greyhound and Golden Pass, Raleigh on across Carolina. Stopping in Charlotte and bypass, rocking when never was a minute late. We was 90 miles out of Atlanta by sundown, road across Georgia State. And more trouble that turned into a struggle out where goes Alabama. The hound broke down and left us all stranded downtown Birmingham.
forget, toot your hooter.